Hey everybody, and welcome back to Koi Pond Lifestyle. So what have we got on today? Two things today we're going to update on. First of all, I started a video about 3 or 4 weeks ago trying to get my fish back up to change the dynamics in my pond. So if you remember back when I had the fluke issue for too long, and my fish were basically seeing me as this is a scary man with a net in his hand wanting to take us out the pond, scrape us, chuck us back in again, blah blah blah. And I'm trying to get away from that now. So I started a video on how I was going to try to introduce myself back to the pond and get the dynamics better again. Then we all of a sudden ran into the COSTIA problem. So yet another parasite, but we can do this. Oh, I get you. So I did, but what I didn't mention was, well, what I was treating the COSTIA with. So I went with that. Cloverleaf, Parasite, answer. Reason I went for this was, first one is I've never dealt with COSTIA before, so I kind of had to pick a product really quick. But this product to me was an all-in-one. It's got the F and the N all-in-one, and it's a premix. So squeeze bottle, put measured amount in bucket, stir bucket up, put in pond. And this was a 5-day treatment plan. So 5 days, amount goes in to pond, UV off, and so on and so forth, like you saw me do. But yeah, that was the product I used. People were asking, well, what have you used? Have you used the formalin, or have you used the malachite on its own, or did you put one in and the other one? Because I've seen people in the past put in the formalin in first, and then you have to wait, and then you put the malachite in. And I couldn't bother to do that, because well, not that I couldn't be bothered, I didn't know what I was doing. So I've done that instead. So at the moment, this, fingers crossed, seems to have done the job. However, doing a lot of reading up on COSTIA, because like I say, I've never dealt with it before, and I'm going to sort of tell you what I've read. And again, you know, if I got some of these facts wrong, then by all means, you know what to do. One of them was that the COSTIA lives in the fish gut, and really only pops out and shows itself when you come out the other side of a treatment. So another parasite, for example, you've got with the fluke I had. So because it stressed the fish out, the fish lose their immunity, bing, COSTIA comes out. That's one theory I heard. The other one is it can keep coming back. So I've just got a little bit left in this bottle here, and I should just keep an eye on things. But it's so difficult to see, because you have to do it at times, what was it, times 400 to be able to see it. Some people say, no, I can see it at 200. Well done, because I really struggle to catch the 400 thing. So one thing I'd be very aware of is, did I catch it early enough? Because once they get onto the gills, apparently they start destroying the gills, and you get bacteria in the gills, and you have a problem, then da-da-da. And we've all seen where we go with that one. So I'm crossing everything. Just that. We've nailed that. So fingers crossed on that one. So update on the COSTIA, I believe we've nailed it this time, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. Now, because of the COSTIA, my new fish plan that I went to see Steve about when he got in the fish that I was asking him for, plus I saw another cheeky one that I was going to get, has had to be put back. So hence why you're not seeing this video now, and you're seeing little fish, I don't know, you'll see, going in my pond today, because I've had to roll that back now. I've had to say to Steve, look Steve, I've got COSTIA in my pond now, you're gonna have to hold on to it for a little while. Yeah, sure, no problem at all, just let me know when. So I've got to work out the plan of getting those fish in, more than one. Excited. So yeah, so looking forward to that. That will probably be in the next video, I hope, because that's what the plan is now. If COSTIA's done great, I've got another 3 or 4 days of no UV. Pond clarity is a nightmare at the moment. It's just because we've had, I mean, apart from today, okay, it's rained today, but every other day has been massive sunshine, big sunshine, lots of it as well. So I've had the brolly up every single day, 12 hours a day, you know, covering the pond. And I know, yeah, okay, a lot of people are saying, well, just build a pagoda over the top. It's not really what I wanted to do. I'd do that as a last resort, to be honest, because me building my pond wasn't really wasn't the direction I wanted to take the pond in. But anyway, so that's it. So yeah, COSTIA, I think we've nailed it, and I nailed it with that, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. So dynamics of the pond. I remember saying to you a little while back that because I had the scary arms with the that the fish dynamics was horrible. You know, people, they were seeing me come to the window and just legging it because they thought it was time to come out, chucking food in for them, none at the window. So this is the little bit of a journey I thought I'd just take you on in this short video we're doing this week on what it was basically me doing to get them back up and running and back in. So the first bit of the plan was just get them eating. I had to get some food in there, had to start getting them eating, and you'll see little different tricks and things that well, not tricks, they're just little bits of that I tried to do to get them eating better, to get them their immune systems back up again, because they'd been hit with so many chemicals for such a long time, and again not wanting them to come to the window to me. So we'll look at that. I spent a lot of time doing this in the morning, just basically sitting by the window eating my breakfast before I went work. Get up a little bit earlier, sit by the pond and just sit there. And as you can see, there's no fish by the window. They're all going, "Oh, I don't think so. You're there to take us out, aren't you?" And I was just trying to make the fish more confident with me. So I'd basically finish my breakfast, chuck them a bit of breakfast in, sit there for a minute or two. They'd sort of come up, take it and then leg it again. And that's been going on now for nearly 4 weeks of me just trying to do that. So lots of this as well, a bit of hand feeding, mussels and prawns and calamari. Somebody suggested going to Aldi and buying a bag of the cheap stuff, cheap cooked seafood. Yeah, cracking idea. It was only £1.80 something, and you get like quite a large bag of it. And I've just been defrosting it every now and again. But again, keep an eye on my filters as well, because I didn't want to hit the filters too much because they've been hit quite a lot. So I've been having to do a lot of testing as well. So anyway, yes, feeding, and away we go from there. So the moment I can get them to feed out of my hand is when that brass band's coming out again, because that indicates to me that I've switched it round again, and we've got the dynamics better in the pond. The fish trust me more. We can go back to normal feeding, and we can get these new fish in. Now the COSTIA is gone, now everything's sorted out and on its way, and we can go from there. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so mixing food. I think because the fish have had a few gill issues, that somebody commented, why don't you try to soften up the food a little bit, but maybe it's irritating the gills a little bit. So what I've got here is, I've got some fish food, and I've got some of these little shrimps and prawns. I'm trying to give them some treats and bits and pieces. So I'm just trying to soak these, and I've soaked this in some water from some mussels. So the juice from mussels, I've stripped in it so it tastes a bit like mussels as well. And then I'll just bin this in and see what happens, eh? So as you can see, they're coming up and eating a lot more, not doing as much spitting out. I think maybe it was because the food was pretty hard. But it's just getting the fish confidence again that this hand is the hand that feeds them, not the hand that has a net on. And that's what I'm trying to do at the moment. So this is what I've spent the last couple of weeks just doing. Every day I just do this. I just come in, feed them. So really, with regards to treats, to be honest, I'm not interested at the moment. I'm just trying to get them to eat stuff, because there's quite a few of them in there who've gone without food for quite a few days. Steve's advice was, put the food in, walk away. Let them get back to knowing that when you put that food in, it's you that put it there, and they'll start coming back to you again. So that's me, fingers crossed, that this hand starts feeding them again, hand feeding. So anyway, I'll let them get on with this. So, yeah, we're going to try get the fish eating a little bit more. Tried a few of these, mussels, love mussels, so this is interesting. Hopefully this will bring them to the window again. Now this, calamari, cooked calamari, apparently supposed to be quite good. Now I love these myself, I don't know whether they're going to give them that. I might have that myself actually, but I'll put it in this tub now, so that's knackered that idea. Anyways, so yeah, I went out and bought these from a well-known supermarket that you may have heard of. Dead cheap, I think it was £1.20 something, and you got like quite a large bag of frozen prawns, calamari stuff that I'm just basically chopping up. So I'm chopping this all up into little bits, and away we go from there. I'm going to chop these up quite small actually, because I know what will happen. Goldie, if he takes to this, he'll go blooming nuts and nobody will get looking. So I'm going to chop it up quite small so that I can, when I throw it in, it'll go all over the place and he won't be there just knocking people out of the road, doing his own thing, nicking all the food as usual. So I'm hoping that's, because he's to be honest, he's been the only fish really who's kind of cracked on and carried on eating, carried on pretty much regardless, to be honest. So I'm going to use 2 bits today. I'm going to use some in here. I'm just going to flick some of this into here, because the reason I'm splitting it up a little bit is I want to try something. Koi Master's Advantage. I'm hearing on the grapevine, and I spoke to the man himself who creates his stuff, that you can actually mix food with the stuff in here and let the fish ingest it. And if the fish ingest it, it doesn't do them any harm. It's supposed to be quite good for the fish, to be honest. You know, you find if you get the odd lump in, the fish gulp it down anyway. And he did say when I spoke to him, I bet the fish are gulping the chunks down. I said, well, no, to be honest, I mix it really well. So he was like, oh, right, okay, whatever. So I'm going to mix a little bit of this Koi Master's Advantage, not a lot, just a little bit, just enough to sort of coat the food. I bet some of you out there going, yeah, we know all about this, Andy. So there you go, just enough to put a bit of a coating on, because I don't want to be... I did some of this actually, I put some of this in the other day to condition the water. So yeah, there we go. So I'm mixing this up, and like I say, the fish, if they ingest that, it's supposed to be quite good for them. So here, so I've got these as the plain stuff, and we'll try these as well. Let's go and see what happens, eh? Okay, so let's see how this stuff with the Koi Master's Advantage goes in. There you go, from what I can see, yeah, very good. Big lump of stuff there, let's see how it goes in. Chomp chomp. Come on, to the hand that feeds you. So basically, this is what kind of stuff I've been doing to try to get the fish back up to seeing me as the hand that feeds them, rather than me, the hand that gets them out in a big net. And so what I've been doing, I've been getting a little tub of the food, soaking it, as a number of you have said, and then just basically just chucking a bit in and just sitting here, so that they're getting used to my face being the hand that's putting this food in, and hopefully getting us back to normal again. Because, you know, it was such, I think I spent so much time just getting them out, scraping and putting them back in again, that's what they want. So there was no chance in the world. You know, Steve was saying just go and put the food in and walk away, which I did for a few days. You know, this video I'm making now has been videoed over sort of 2 or 3 weeks of trying to get everybody back up to speed and back to where we should be with what's happening in the pond. So, you know, even the new lemon Yamabuki is now getting more confident with me. Sid, the Shirogoi, have spotted a little bit of cottonpox on Sid for some unknown reason. So, with regards to the fish getting back, as you can see, you know, they're now coming to the window when I call them, when I do the tapping thing. They come back up because they know that the tapping means the food is coming. And they're no longer worried now that when I'm at the window, it doesn't matter. I'm just here to throw food in and for them to eat. So, looking good. With regards to getting the new fish in, I think I'm real close now to starting to get new fish coming in. I spoke to Steve the other day, and we've got a plan. So we're going to run to the plan, because I think when you're introducing fish, you've got to make sure that your filters can cope with that extra fish in. So at the moment my filters are really good, really well matured now. That KK1000, I'm sort of feeding whatever I want now into here, and the fish, as you can see, are eating again rather than spitting it out, which is good. Nailed it! I told you we could do it. We can do it. You know, it's just my luck now. Next week I'll be telling you, Costia's back, flukes are back, I got tricked this time. I really hope not. But there you go. Fish are back at the window. When I call them up, they come for food. They've eaten out my hands again. It's all looking good. So all we've got to do now is get them new fish into the pond as soon as. So I'm going to get on the phone to Steve tonight or tomorrow and say, look Steve, this is what the state of the pond is now. How are we doing with the new fish? Let's get them in and let's rock for there. Let's get back to plan A, and away we go. And on that bombshell, thanks very much for watching. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that button down there. Like the video if you like the video. Click the notification bell for notifications and share to all your friends. Thanks very much for watching. This was a result at Koi Pond Lifestyle.